parts of Canada that are changing quickly. People want to be part of the politics that also changes quickly.
If you want a progressive vision and a progressive voice, there's only one party.
Of course, the problem for many Canadian voters, though, is that there isn't just one progressive federal party. An even bigger problem for the two leaders who are trying to lure that progressive, often urban vote their way. It's a bit of a flashback to the 1990s, just change the names and the colors. Back then, it was about splitting the right. Now, the fractured left. It's perhaps no more apparent right now than in a Southern Ontario riding currently staring down a by-election. That's where our Chris Hall witnessed the proliferation of urban brawl.
Downtown Toronto, home to young business professionals living in million-dollar condos, home to many others progress left behind.
The urban issues are critical. Transit, social housing, affordable housing.
Home, too, for some of this country's most vibrant and diverse minority communities, and territory largely ignored by Stephen Harper's Conservatives.
I don't think the Conservatives have treated urban issues very well at all.
They just don't have an urban strategy because it doesn't pay off at the ballot box.
Cities will be key to New Democrats and Liberals in the next federal election. In Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver, even St. John's.
I think the urban vote is moving along, and I don't believe that any one party actually owns it.
The fight for it starts here.
Action. This by-election is about strengthening the team that's taking on Stephen Harper. I need Joe Cressy on that team.
That was great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Here is Trinity-Spadina. Voters will elect a successor to NDP icon Olivia Chow on Monday. Since 1972, it's been considered a bellwether riding, a predictor of the federal election's outcome. Residents have elected a Liberal whenever the Liberals formed the government. They've chosen a New Democrat, including Chow, every time the Conservatives took power.
Right now in Trinity-Spadina, they're saying we can't win, but we will.
That's why NDP leader Tom Mulcair is pumping up volunteers for candidate Joe Cressy. It's why he's invoking the names of revered party figures in a riding he needs to hold.
So now it's on our shoulders. We've got to complete it. What Jack and Olivia started, we're going to do it here in Trinity-Spadina. Get back to a federal government playing an active role in housing, in transit, a vision for what we can accomplish in the environment, an economy that works for everyone, not just for a few who are close to power. We're going to get it done. We're going to deliver. We're going to stand up to Harper. And in 2015,
In the wings, Liberal leader Justin Trudeau. Not as experienced as Mulcair, not as effective in the House of Commons, but possessed of something else. The kind of charisma and star quality that draws people in as he reaches out. Embracing groups such as Toronto's gay, lesbian, and transgendered community.
I'm proud of our LGBTQ community support. That is certainly something that I am here to remind you, as I do anywhere I go across the country, that I will always stand up for people's rights, because that's what Canada is all about, and that's what's made us strong.
That Liberal tradition helped Trudeau recruit a prized candidate, a progressive who even the NDP would have loved.
Someone who knows so much about housing and has fought for it so long is going to be at the table beside me as we develop a housing strategy that works for Torontonians and for all Canadians, and that's Adam Vaughan. The next MP for Trinity-Spadina.
But once the applause dies down, the real challenge for Trudeau and Mulcair is to stop splitting the anti-Harper vote in the dozens of urban ridings here and in other cities. And for one of those parties to show that it can capture a large enough block of those seats to present itself as the real alternative to the Conservatives. One of the early skirmishes takes place at the annual Taste of Italy celebration. After weeks of door knocking, this is the candidate's equivalent of holding court.
Okay, let's go, guys. Let's go. See you, guys.
People come to you.
Hi there. Hi, I'm Joe Cressy, running to be your member of parliament here.
The disadvantage, not everyone's from the riding.
You live in the neighborhood?
No.
You live in the neighborhood?
I do, but not near Reading.
And those who are,
Hi there.
not all of them are interested in mixing politics and pleasure.
Would you like a World Cup schedule? No. Hey, Martin.
The NDP's candidate in Trinity-Spadina works one end of the street, where Mulcair is seasoned. A former Liberal Quebec cabinet minister, Cressy is young.
We need more Joes in Trinity-Spadina.
This Joe is just 29, but long dedicated to the NDP and its social causes.
Change doesn't come unless we work hard for it. Okay, we got. If you want a progressive vision and a progressive voice, there's only one party. It's the New Democrats.
You live nearby?
At the other end of the same street, Liberal Adam Vaughan.
Absolutely.
Now you have to vote. You can't let two elections pass you. You make sure he votes, okay?
You know what, to be honest with you.
A former city councillor already well known and well versed in the issues, applauded by progressives for standing up to Toronto's notorious rehabbing mayor, Rob Ford.
Right. So the ward that I've represented, we've got 12 different housing programs underway. Okay. And what I want to do is get to Ottawa and accelerate those programs.
How are you?
Who are you again?
Yeah, I know, exactly. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
How are you doing? I'm Joe.
Vaughan and Cressy are actually old friends who share many of the same views and values.
All right, see you later.
So can you just give me like a 30-second overview of your platform in terms
Sure.
of...
Well, housing is a significant part of it.
Yeah.
And caught between the two, many voters unsure of how to distinguish between them and divided over who to vote for.
Have you been following the race here?
Yeah, Joe Cressy, like Olivia's replacement.
What do you think? What's your sense of how the NDP versus the Liberals are doing?
Oh, I think the NDPs are going to win for sure.
I was NDP, but I'm leaning towards Liberals now, although I'm not crazy about Trudeau either, so I don't know, I'm torn.
So what makes you lean towards the Liberals?
I think they have a better chance of winning.
Winning, of course, is the point. The NDP has never formed a federal government. The Liberals are a distant third in the House of Commons. It's a long way to go for both parties, especially when their route to victory is the same.
Hey, Albert.
Rory Sinclair is a contractor by profession, but better known as a pillar of the community in Trinity-Spadina. He sees the Liberal Party on the rebound under Trudeau, and that means more competition for the same voters.
This last 3 years of the majority government has, I think, made progressives, or even light progressives, very wary of what I see now, and this is a year in advance of a vote split on the left, on the progressive side.
And that means to you what?
It means probably another conservative government.
And that's the problem and the challenge for Mulcair and Trudeau as they try to distinguish where their parties stand.
How you doing? I'm good. How about you?
Ça va bien.
Part of Mulcair's approach, diminish the Liberal record on the key issues.
That's interesting, though, because it's the Liberals who stopped investing in housing.
Mulcair insists it's his party that has the best chance to form a government in 2015, his party that champions urban issues.
Here, they can talk now all they want about housing. Jack Layton actually got it done. When the issue was on the table, the NDP's priority was housing. We told Paul Martin, instead of a tax cut to corporations, you want our support for the budget? Start investing in transit and in post-secondary education and in housing. And you know what? That's what they did, and that's a reflection of our priorities. The Liberals would have never done that on their own.
Trudeau's counter, the past is just that. He's pushing the future, redefining the Liberals, ignoring the NDP.
Let's get in there before game time. All right, perfect.
This time, a quick stop in Little Portugal.
Hi there.
A quick pitch to a crowd that's already gathered for a World Cup match featuring the old country.
So we need you guys' support in the upcoming election, eh? Adam Vaughan? Yeah. You gonna vote Liberal? Okay. Yeah, okay.
This is Trudeau, at ease, engaging, more Jack Layton than Tom Mulcair. He's focused on retail politics, marketing himself and the new Liberal brand.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Justin Trudeau. Pleasure to see you. Yes. How are you doing today?
Good.
You here for the game or the food?
I'm here for the food. I'll watch the game, and I'm going to vote for you.
Oh, well, and for Adam right away. You know, we're in
June 30th.
What I'm offering is an extraordinary team with a robust and responsible plan to govern this country, bringing together great people from across the country, and I'm going to happily stack up the Liberal team and the Liberal platform against the NDP when the time comes. But it'll be because I'm focused on how to govern this country right, and that's what drives me.
But not far enough to be specific about Liberal policy.
Short answer from
That's a concern, but not necessarily a deal breaker for activists like Toronto City Councillor Kristen Wong-Tam.
We haven't seen a lot of platform release from him. He says, just wait, I'm developing it. So he'll be tested, and certainly we'll be listening very carefully on what he would like to do with the city and what his urban agenda will be.
While some are still watching, Vaughan saw an opportunity to be part of setting the Liberals' urban agenda.
One of the things that's been offered to me as an opportunity through the Liberal Party is to make it a party you want to vote for, making it a party about new ideas. And it's not just downtown Toronto, it's right across the country where you're seeing growth happen. In Edmonton, where you've got amazing employment growth, but no housing. In Calgary, where you're seeing a new urban centre for the country emerge. In Vancouver, where you've got just the same kind of spectacular growth you have in Toronto. In these parts of Canada that are changing quickly, people want to be part of the politics that also changes quickly.
Change is one of the most overused words in politics, but there's no question Canada's biggest cities are changing. Forcing the NDP and the Liberals to compete for the anti-Harper vote. It's a battle the Conservatives are no doubt watching, waiting to see if their opponents continue to split these urban ridings, a result that can only improve Harper's chances of winning again. Chris Hall, CBC News, Toronto.